What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is the video you guys have all been waiting for since inception. Jordan and I are here to give you our 2024 picks, the things that hit us in all the right ways, our favorite releases of the year. We got some solid lists for you. We're really excited to dish it out. Really, honestly, just things that are gonna make you scream. Jordan, I knew you liked that compilation, so I had to throw it in there
Love
for you.
that.
What's
I
up,
love
Jordan?
that.
How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going good, dude. Just been super busy at work, but I've still been making time to check out some new releases at night and whatnot. But my busy season is coming to an end after next week, so I'm gonna have a lot more time for checking out movies, hanging out, and whatnot. Hopefully, getting a start on my own YouTube channel. So that's all gonna come
Dude,
in the
awesome.
next year,
20
hopefully.
2025, man, the year of
Yep.
Shinigami Jingle.
Yep. I
I was
might
like,
I might actually try rebranding too. I just gotta think of
oh,
a
yeah.
of an easier name to say.
I remember when we did our first video, I was trying to pronounce it, and I couldn't get
I
it
know.
right. That's cool, man. Yeah, 2024 was big for me, man. I started the channel, I got my camera, I got my mic, I got the whole setup going. I started my VHS collection.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, it's a big year for me. I'm looking forward to everything you got in store for 2025, man. Only big
Yeah.
things.
Same for you, dude. Yeah, I'm hoping to expand my VHS collection too. Seeing you get all these like Grail tapes, dude, just makes me want to dip into that even
It's
more.
yeah, I like it was since I got the Panasonic, it's just been lights out, bro. I'm
I
like now
know.
that
Yeah.
I've been enjoying watching them so much, I can't even tell you.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah,
Like,
you got a sweet TV for it too. So,
yeah, it's sweet. I love it. I got a great deal on it. It's big, but I've been having to mess around with the tracking a little bit. Have you had that issue at all?
I actually so the current setup that I use, I don't have like a tracking thing on it at all, but I did have to mess with that back in the day. So
Yeah.
I remember that stuff.
I completely forgot. I was getting like some crackle on the sound, and so I had to like
Yep.
do some research on like what was happening, and the tracking fixed it. So, but every time I pop a tape, and I have to kind of mess with the tracking to get it right.
Yeah.
So it's work in progress, but it's fun, man. Like it's funny. Like you think VHS is like you think like it's like caveman style, like old school quality, but it's really not. Like the picture
Oh,
on
not
it
at all.
is really not. I guess because you're using the film reel or whatever it is, like it's just
Yep.
a different style of format.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of like the grainy look, and I love VHS for that. I mean, like even like when people complain about like grain and like the vinegar syndrome restorations and stuff, I'm like, what are you talking about? That's like the key component of film for me. Like I just love that stuff.
Same, dude. And like what
Yeah.
I'm finding is like I mean me personally, I would much rather watch something on VHS than DVD.
Oh,
But
100%.
there are things that I'm watching, and it's like there's certain. So let me backtrack. There's certain things that I'm watching, um, like that I'm watching VHS, and I've watched them on Blu-ray, and it's like it looks great on Blu-ray, but it's almost like that factor where it's like, I don't wanna watch it on Blu-ray. It's like this to
Yeah.
me, it's like it looks great, but some of it was not meant for digital. Some of it wasn't meant for like this stop motion or this, or there's some stop motion puppeteering, things like that that wasn't really meant to be seen as clear as day like that, you know?
Exactly. Yep. I'm pretty sure we talked about it before. Like I don't want to see like the strings of the puppet or like the outline of the prosthetic on like a monster's face or something, you know? Like I
Yeah,
just
100%.
yeah.
And
Yeah, and
it's sorry, go.
there's also something that like on VHS when you watch a VHS and there's like all the commercials and stuff
Mm.
before the movie starts playing, it just sets you in that mood like to like be like it just takes you back to that era, you know? And I love that about VHS.
Dude, I've been having such a blast with it. I
Yeah.
really I'm hook, line, and sinker, bro. I can't stop. I told you about that tape I was looking at this morning,
Yep.
and I'm not gonna get into details of that because I don't want to embarrass myself. But I can't stop, man. It's a really, really, really cool hobby, and
For sure.
I'm really enjoying it. So anyway, Jordan is here. I am Miles of Horror, of course. Jordan's that Shinigami jingle. Before we get into anything further today, we appreciate you guys hanging out. If you could possibly hit that like button, we would appreciate it. The more likes these videos get, the more it gets spread around.
Oh
And
yeah.
if you aren't already subscribed, please do so already. Jordan and I do our thing on Instagram as well. I will link those socials below. Um, so yeah, let's get into it, guys. What a year it's been for physical media, truly, and I mean that in so many ways. There's two ways you can go with this, right? You can say it's a golden age because um, there's things that have been lost for long periods of time that are now on being branded on Blu-ray and 4K, things that we never thought we'd see the light of day on, right? Like Trick or Treat. And so in that aspect, it's a physical media collector's dream. But another
Yep.
aspect, right, like there's so much out there and there's so much to collect. It almost feels like you have to. There's so much out there you feel like you have to own, you have to buy. It honestly makes me feel like this.
They're eating her! Well, they're going to eat me!
Dude, I'm really hitting StreamYard lately and getting
Yeah.
the clips up there. But that's what it feels like, man. It feels like there's just so much out there, and like it's just like a punching bag, like left and right, like
Yep.
And so I'm really trying to be picky and choosy.
It's never ending, that's for sure. I'm still debating. I know you don't want to get into it too much because I mean I remember you said you're gonna make a video about it, but I'm still debating hard on the Vinegar Syndrome subscription thing. Like I want to do it so bad, but at the same time, like, do I want to drop $1,000 all at once on that, or do I just want to like pick some titles out here and there throughout the year? So
Yeah, we don't have to get too much into it. I will be resubscribing. I've made the decision for my 6th year in a row, and you know my thoughts. I've given you my thoughts. The issue is this with the subscription is there's gonna be titles you're gonna be like, fuck this, I don't want this. Like it's gonna happen,
yeah,
I promise you. But
yeah,
if you and it's gonna cause you to buy more in the long run. So if you are okay with that, and then whatever. But it's just for me, it's just the experience of it is just awesome. Like doing it and being
for
like, okay,
sure.
seeing the reveals, being like, I don't even have to worry about it. This is coming to me. It's fun, man. It's cool. And like I said, you get a discount if you're a subscriber already.
Yep.
So I don't even have a choice. It's just I'm locked in, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to just pay for it all at once and then not have to worry about it. But I mean, the thing that gets me is I'm probably going to continue spending money on all the partner labels and stuff like
That's where
that.
they
So
that's the thing, like, you're doing it and you're gonna be spending even more money, but, like,
yep,
it's like it's a brilliant business model because you do it and then it gets you to buy more.
yep,
So
exactly.
listen, you're gonna like it, you're gonna enjoy it, it's a lot of money, but, I say do it, and the other thing is, um there's gonna be moments where like there's gonna be things that aren't part of your subscription that it's like I want that, and you'll be like everything else that came out this month except for what's in my subscription is what I wanted. It's gonna happen, and it's
Yeah,
a shitty feeling, but like you get these titles in the subscription, then you're also gonna get discounts. So listen, try it, see if you like it, and you can always just not renew.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was also considering like not doing it and like adding up how much I spend this year to see if it's worth it for next year. So I'm like on the fence. Like I've got the devil and the angel on my shoulder right now. You know.
I do know, man. I feel like that every single time when I
Yep.
buy anything. I'm on the fence. I have that going on right now with the new late night terrors set from TerrorVision. I think that's what it is with the
Oh
Linnea
yeah.
Quigley set.
Yep. Yep.
I have Angel and Devil right now because I don't like I love Linnea Quigley. I love Michelle Bauer. Nightmare Sisters is one of my favorite late night B movies ever.
Yep.
But it's not a horror movie and it's not something that I really feel like I need. I'd watch it and I'd
Yeah.
enjoy it, but like, do I need it? You know?
Yeah. For sure. I get that.
Um, Same thing with Reanimator. Like we have that beautiful 4K set with new extras, and I really want that also. But like I just it's $80, right? The set that I want, and
Yeah,
I love my Arrow set. I really do.
I
And so
know.
that's kind of where I'm at with the picky choosy thing.
I'm really worried too that like I'm gonna pre-order that and then Arrow's just gonna announce like a stick set. And honestly, like I'm all for supporting like new labels and stuff like that, but like absolutely love Arrow Video and I
Same.
love adding stuff to my Arrow collection. So I would love for them to do that or like a double box set with that and Brighter Reanimator or something. Like it would just be
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
So
That's kind of like my thought process. It's tough, man. I'm just really trying to be more purposeful with my buying. Like Reanimator is great, and I would love to upgrade, but like that Arrow Blu-ray looks banging, dude. Like that.
yeah.
It's like just because it's called 4K doesn't mean I need it, and I would like
Yep.
to see the extras, and that's great. But that $80 can go towards my subscription, or it can go towards
Yep.
another big set. So or a
Exactly.
great tape that I don't have that doesn't have another physical media release. Like I have
Yeah.
Reanimator, I have a great set.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Anyway, it's a never-ending cycle, man. It's
Yep.
sigh worthy. So Jordan, man, 2024 was awesome. What were some of your highlights this year, physical media wise, horror wise, or other? It could be anything. What were some of your highlights this year?
Honestly, dude, one of the biggest highlights this year for me in horror movies, and I know it is for you too, is The Substance, dude. Like that fucking movie blew me away, dude. I love it. I can't
Yeah.
wait to watch it again. I have the 4K pre-ordered right now, and I can't wait to watch that movie again. And I hope there's a ton of extras on there. I've always been a big Demi Moore fan. I remember watching her in one of my favorite Tales from the Crypt episodes, like in the 90s. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm super hyped for that to get a physical media release, but that was definitely my top horror movie of the year by far.
This is something I've been struggling with in regard to The Substance, and I love that you said that because I too love that movie. Favorite movie of the year in my top 10 favorites all time. And if you've seen it, that's not an outlandish statement because
Oh
it's
yeah.
it's 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 that good. It really is. And
Yeah.
so I only saw it in the theater. Okay, that was my only experience so far watching that movie. I've been dying to see it again. Now, I picked up the VHS from Death by VHS, and I have it sitting on my shelf, and I have my Panasonic, and I have strongly been considering watching on VHS,
Oh
and I think that
yeah,
would be cool. But I
for
also have the
sure.
4K on the way from Mubi, so
Yep.
I have been on the fence about whether to wait, which I think I'm gonna do because I think the movie that is going to be released sometime in the next few weeks.
Yep.
So I think I'm gonna wait because I do want to watch it on the big screen in 4K.
Yep. Yeah, for sure, dude. And then I also recently just checked out Nosferatu, which I was also a big fan of. But I'm a big Robert Eggers fan. I love pretty much every. I mean, he's done 4 films now, and they've all been like knocked out of the park for me. His imagery, like every scene in every one of his movies, could be a painting in a history museum or like a fine art museum or whatever. It's amazing. I wouldn't say I don't think I don't know if Nosferatu broke my top 3 horror movies this year. I know it has for a lot of people, but I still absolutely love the shit out of that movie. It was awesome, and I'm excited to hear your thoughts on it when you finally see it.
Yeah, I need to check it out. And if you liked it, I trust your judgment in movies. So I
Oh
think
yeah,
if you liked it, I think I'm gonna like it.
yeah,
And I
for
think
sure.
I think that that lusty kind of romantic era vibe is very
Yeah,
cool. I'm into that. So I'm on board, man. I got to see it.
dude, I will be shocked if Bill Skarsgård doesn't win some kind of award for his performance because it's just like when he's on screen, it's like it shakes the theater,
Does he
dude. Like
play Nosferatu?
yeah, he plays
Okay.
Count Orlok.
Okay.
So
Count
yeah.
Orlok. Right. Right.
Yep.
Um.
But like it's like when he's on screen, dude, like the theater like shakes,
Damn.
dude. You
That
definitely need to see it in the theater
Damn. See,
before it leaves theaters.
now you're like getting me super hype about it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
All right, so that I gotta check that out for sure.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get it done this break. I was on break the last, whatever days. I have one more day
Yeah.
off tomorrow. but it just didn't happen. So I've been too busy watching Pinocchio's Revenge and
Yeah, dude, hell yeah.
Carnosaur 1 and 2 and all these fun VHS movies, which is just, dude, like I don't want to dwell on this VHS thing. We got a lot to talk about, but just the fact that I can watch those movies and like listen, I love physical media. I love Blu-ray. I love 4K, but sometimes the VHS is just nice, man. It's all you need.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. I mean, and that's a big part of your like horror stuff from this year too. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, that's definitely a big part of
So
your.
so that's kind of where I was going with that. My highlights, I think, besides starting this channel, hanging with you, and
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
doing our thing together, which has been a blast for me. And you know, for these guys that have been watching the channel and you've seen our shows together, you know, I keep saying it, but we're trying to do this as regularly as possible. It's hard with
Yeah,
schedules and work and extracurriculars and all that. But we try and do this as often as we can. Just know that we're trying to give you guys videos together as often as possible. So I
yeah,
know I tend to go solo a lot, but Jordan and I want to be doing this together as much as we can. Um, and so maybe 2025 is the year we actually do we actually brand a show, but right now
yeah,
this is the way it's gonna be. And so yeah, it's doing this thing with you, brother, and the VHS thing, man. Those have been a lot of fun for me.
yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, you also got the like going on to like collectibles too. You got that sick pinhead bust this year too, which is super
I
sick.
did.
Dude.
So
That's
I
got to
give
be
you
a
guys a
highlight of your year.
little up there. Let's make sure my light
Yeah,
makes it up
dude.
there.
You got him next
Uh,
to the haunted mask and
yeah,
all your
dude.
Hammond sculpt stuff. That's sick.
Yep. I got some cool stuff. Yeah, I mean, it never ends. The collectibles never end. Always searching out some new stuff. I have so many posters I got this year that I haven't even framed up yet because who has the money to frame shit these days? But anyway, I digress. So let's get into some of our other topics today. So we're talking physical media, guys, and you know, it's really hard to answer this question. I think this year was a phenomenal year for physical media, beyond incredible, and I have my answer, but it was very hard to kind of narrow it down. And so, Jordan, like, who had the best year for physical media company wise? There's all these boutique labels. You know, we have Scream Factory, who's bigger than that. We have, you know, I think Vinegar Syndrome, who is still a boutique label, but they have outgrown that label, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for
We have
sure.
Arrow, Umbrella, Second Sight. We have TerrorVision now. Companies like Second Sight are doing great things. Or
Yeah.
sorry, Synapse, who are doing great things. So there's a lot of them out there. We have Cauldron now, who's doing some really cool releases.
Yep.
And you know, companies overseas are getting an American market, and it's just really cool to see. So
Yep.
what do you think, man? Which company in your eyes it was like their year? Not necessarily if you think they had the biggest year monetarily. That's not what I'm
Yeah.
asking. I'm asking you who put their foot down, who put their stamp down, and said this is, you know, we want to be seen here. This is our year, and you got to be, you know, make sure you're ready for us in 2025. Who's your company?
I mean, the obvious answer for me is Second Sight because they're not even based in the United States. They're based in UK, I believe.
Yeah,
And like there's so many people in the United States that are just getting so hyped over all their releases. And they definitely had probably the biggest year in horror, in my opinion, with like the release of like Late Night with the Devil, Blair Witch Project, Creep just came out. They I mean, I don't know if those were releases this year, but like the Ginger Snaps trilogy, did that come out this year?
I think it was
Um,
October of last year. So
October of
just
last year. But
yeah,
anyways, they've done a ton of just like amazing horror films. So I would say on the horror spectrum, they killed it. The Hitcher, they also put that out, which I
so
regret.
with so many people, did that sell out? It probably did, right?
It did, dude, and I
I
didn't pick
picked
it
it
up.
up, but so many people are calling that release of the year. That's in a lot of people's top lists.
Well, and that's the thing too is I've never seen that movie, so I had no like incentive that like I wanted to buy that movie so bad, and now I'm regretting it so much because it's selling for like, I mean, I don't know how much retail was. It was probably around $60. So I mean, I think I can get it for about that on eBay. I've been watching them to try to get one, snag one, but yeah, they're sold out on their website. I probably bought the most from Vinegar Syndrome, but I feel like they've just like cemented themselves as like a big player in the horror genre for like the last 5+ years. So they had a lot of releases this year that blew me away. Like, I mean, The Keep, everyone's been waiting for that to come out on physical media forever.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I don't even see the Hitcher on their website anymore.
Yeah, it's not. I don't even think there was like a standard edition of that.
Weird. I
Yeah.
know for those of you guys watching, something Second Sight often does, which it's important to keep track of, is they'll do a release and it'll say out of stock on the website. But that doesn't mean it's out of print. Okay, it'll very clearly say out of print if there's nothing left. It
Yeah.
happened with It Follows, happened with Ginger Snaps. It
Yep.
happened with The Strangers. They'll sell out and they'll restock some specific limited edition. So
Yep.
just know that. Like, so I was checking to see if maybe the Hitcher had that verbiage, but doesn't even look like it's on the website, which sucks.
Yeah, nope, it's not. It's completely gone. But yeah, that's probably one of my biggest regrets this year, not picking that up. But I mean, I'll eventually grab one for sure. But yeah, I think they just killed it. But I'm curious to hear what you think.
It was hard, man.
Tough one.
I did not choose Second Sight, and I'll tell you why. But they were absolutely up there for me, top 2 or 3. You know, it's really hard to. I thought Vinegar Syndrome had a great year.
For
It's
sure.
very hard to argue with them. But they're just very niche to me, and it's like they're becoming not niche. They're becoming just a physical media company that's just doing their thing, and it's like what their thing is unique, but it's not really niche anymore. It's like they have stuff for everybody. Like
They're starting to put out more mainstream stuff for sure.
Yeah, dude. Like I was looking today, I was looking at a list of horror movies from 1990 because I did my Troll 2 video, and I saw the Applegates. You ever see that movie?
No, dude, but I want to. It looks awesome.
It's a really fun movie, and I saw it as a kid, and I just have this feeling they're gonna put that out like this year as like in that like 4K line, whatever that like Sidekicks,
That'd
Showgirls,
be sweet
that to me would be a perfect fit for that line, and it's
for sure.
like it's like Vinegar Syndrome is just it's like they're putting out these movies that are just like these are for everybody. These aren't like horror movies necessarily, But I
Yep.
think in many ways that so here's what's interesting. I think in many ways the VS line, which if you subscribe is what you get, that line specifically stays truer to any of the other to what they've been historically than any other line, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, which is cool, a cool reason to subscribe. But anyway, so I was very, on the fence about who I wanted to go with, and Second Sight was definitely up there. That Blair Witch release is fantastic. That Hitch release is fantastic. Yeah. But my company that sits atop on my list this year is Umbrella, and I'll tell you why. Okay. So I have the Hell House LLC box set as well in my top 3 releases of the year. For a few reasons, right? That Umbrella box set, those movies haven't been released on physical media since their inception. And I think the first one came out in like 2015 maybe or 20. So they're not old. Maybe 2014. They're not old movies, but this is the first time they're really getting a proper release, which is very cool. It is a gorgeous edition, but I mean, listen to these releases on my list. You had the Mario set, right? Which I believe that the original one did not come out this year, but that re-release, the one-up edition, was this year, I believe.
Yeah.
You have the Hell House LLC. You have Tank Girl. You have Masters of the Universe. You have
I want that, dude. I want that release. I haven't grabbed it yet, but dude, that movie is so nostalgic.
Same. You have the Late Night with the Devil set. You have the I have that one. I don't have the Second Sight release. You have the Intruder release. You have the Full Moon box set, which I'm waiting on mine still. I ordered it, but I ordered it with other things, so they're all being shipped together. It's on its way. I cannot wait to see what else they do with that line because that's the first volume. Like the thoughts that are going through my mind on what another Full Moon box set could look like is just like I'm so excited about it. You have the House of the Devil box, which is also on its way, which I can't wait, which is, my love for that movie.
Yeah.
You have the Winnie the Poohs that came out in recent memory, but above all else, like they had some great titles and they do amazing work. But above all else, and the reason that put them over the edge for me is Terrifier.
I
And
know.
that thoughts aside on whatever you think the movie is, they staked their claim. They put their foot down this year, and this is our franchise. This is our release. There's no one else that is doing Terrifier like Umbrella is. They are the owners of that franchise, as far as I'm
Yep.
concerned. There's no U.S. release that even comes close to it.
Yep.
So they have, it's like Scream Factory is Halloween, right? And they are Halloween, they are Friday the 13th. And for many years, they were this juggernaut because they put out these massive box sets in regard to those two franchises. That kind of carried them for many years. Now
Yep.
it's like Umbrella has Terrifier, and that is just enormous in my opinion.
Yeah, and they would have been they're probably second for me. And they would have been possibly first, but I haven't gotten my Terrifier box set yet. It's actually in Chicago, so it's gonna be here soon. I was
Sick,
hoping to
dude.
get it before the end of the year and go through it a little bit, but from the pictures I'm seeing and stuff, it looks phenomenal. I'm so hyped for it, dude. Like all the like artwork, there's alternate art on the slips, there's different artwork on the actual like movie cards, and then there's like there's different artwork on the box set, and there's a book in it. It just looks amazing.
So I haven't watched any videos yet. I haven't gotten my shipping notification
I
yet.
haven't watched any videos, but I've seen people post
Yeah.
pictures of it, which it looks sick.
Dude, that set gets a yeah baby from me.
Yeah, baby.
I can't wait for that set, man.
Me
And
either.
so, that's kind of where I'm at with Umbrella. I think, and not only that, but like they traditionally have not been this kind of a juggernaut. They were sporadically putting out these big boys, like that Terrifier box set caught people off guard. The original one, it was like,
Oh, yeah.
whoa, like what is Umbrella doing? And then that was kind of the first moment where people were kind of taking notice. And then from there, they kind of went the Arrow route and the boutique label, the real boutique label route, and started putting the extra care into their releases, getting the extras, getting putting all the packaging the way people in 2024 want it, because the honest truth is that the bar has been set as far as physical media is concerned, and it's like if you're not doing those kinds of releases, people just aren't going to want it as high. They're not going to be as highly sought after.
Definitely. Yeah. And actually, like thinking like on a broader spectrum than horror, Arrow Video is like they released some insane stuff this year too. Like they put out Demolition Man on 4K.
Yeah, I
They
cannot wait
put
for that
out
one.
I'm pretty sure the Conan films came
Yep.
out this year on 4K, which is just crazy. They did Silence of the Lambs on 4K.
You know what's
Trick or
crazy?
Treat.
Yeah,
Like,
dude. Can I interrupt you for a second, because
yeah.
you're hitting such a good point right now. I mean, they did the Hellraiser Quartet of Torment 4K
Yep.
this year. Like
Yep.
it's so hard for me to rank Arrow because they are the best. They are the best, and you are
Yeah.
1000% right. 1000% right. But I can't even put them in a category because they are the best. They've been at the best for so long.
Yep. Yeah, and honestly, Scream Factory, they're starting to redeem themselves a little bit, but like earlier this year, they wouldn't even have been in the running for me at all, because it just seems like they've been lazy and just re-releasing everything on 4K. But them doing like The Faculty and Hush and that stuff lately, that's kind of redeemed them a little bit for me, but I still don't think they're top 3 this year at all.
Guaranteed to jack you up.
I love that Faculty set.
I love that movie, dude.
Same, dude. Anyway, okay, so great year from Umbrella, great year from Second Sight, great year from Arrow. I mean, really, there's a few ways to look at it, but I am very. If you can be patient and you can kind of be picky and choosy, it's a great time to be a physical media collector.
For sure. It's never been better.
What's up?
I said it's never been better, dude, especially with these companies giving you the choice. Like, I mean, like I love it when they put out like a basic edition and like a premium edition and an ultra premium edition. Just
Yep.
like there's something for everyone, I mean, like if you're a huge fan and you want to go crazy, you can get the expensive. edition with all the bells and whistles and the glasses and the bib that you don't need. But then if you just want a basic thing, then it's all good.
Yeah, that bib was tasty. That bib had some sauce to it. All right, so great year for physical media. Second Sight, Arrow, Umbrella, Vinegar Syndrome, just a lot of great stuff, guys. It's a great time to be a collector in many ways. So listen, before we get into our picks for this year and our favorite releases, what are some of your wants for 2025, man? Like, what are some things that some wish list items, some whatever it is, physical media wise? What are you kind of hoping for in 2025?
Dude, I've been thinking about this for a while, actually, and I have a list of some stuff that I would love to see. Actually, one of them's already been confirmed, which I hope they do correctly. But supposedly next year we're gonna get a Nightmare on Elm Street 4K box set, which I pray that they do correctly and give us like separate cases with the original artwork, whether they be just regular Blu-ray cases or 4K cases or steel books. I want that. I want a lot of extras and all that. I'm hoping they do it right. So that's probably my most like anticipated like known thing right now. Besides that, I would love to get Fright Night 2 finally, like in an American Blu-ray or 4K release. That's probably like my either number one or number two that has not been announced by anyone, but I think that would be sick. And then my second one is probably Dead Alive or Brain Dead, because we have I mean there's a really expensive out of print Blu-ray, but I would love for a boutique label to get that and like give it an amazing edition, whether it be Blu-ray or 4K.
That Dead Alive Blu-ray was Scream Factory, right? I think.
I don't think so, but I don't even think it's a boutique label at all. Like I think it was just like
random,
whatever
like,
studio put it out. Yeah, but it sells for $100, which is crazy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I actually used to have it, and I sold it because there was a point where I was selling a lot of movies, and I regret selling it because I loved watching it on Blu-ray. But I'm hoping they put out like a more modern edition of it.
Someone I follow on social media did a post the other day talking about how they regret selling all their VHS years ago. And they are like a big collector. They still have a collection, but like they went through a phase where they sold like their entire collection. And they're like, I'm seeing these tapes that I sold for like $4 or $5 go for like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah,
And
dude,
it wasn't even about the money thing with them. They were just like, I see these other tapes that I just can't even find anymore that I sold for cheap. And I just felt bad. It was like, damn, dude, like, I just know how much I cherish my VHS and like whatever. So yeah, Dead Alive would be sweet, dude. I can see like a Vinegar Syndrome or a Severin doing something like that. Or rather like a Synapse, not a Severin, but like a Synapse maybe.
That's what I was thinking, dude. Like Synapse or like the Red Shirt Pictures that they were in collaboration with Trick or Treat, like doing Fright Night 2 or Dead or Alive. That would be sick. Like they would have an amazing track record if that's the case.
Yeah, I have that VHS. That's the only copy on physical media that I have.
Yeah. And then I got two other ones too that I would love to see.
Wait, before we get to that, I want to talk about that Nightmare on Elm Street 4K. For those of you guys that are new to that has been announced by a company. I think FSA maybe is the company, something like that. I believe it's a overseas company. It's not an American release.
Yep.
And it is a 4K box set, and I believe it's up for pre-order. I could be mistaken about that, but I think it's up for pre-order. I have not pre-ordered it. I haven't
either. It doesn't show like like any images or anything. Like it's literally just like one of those like question mark square picture thing.
Can you actually pre-order it?
I think so, yeah. But I'm gonna wait and hold off until I see more or like find out about if there's going to be an American release or not, because I'm assuming that that's pretty far out. And
I think it was announced for September is what they said.
Yeah. Well, and I did see too that there was like a Warner Brothers leak that supposedly had that coming in September of next year. So
Yeah, I'm gonna wait too. I am trying to do some research on it now. I'm gonna wait for an American version too, unless like pictures come out and unless
Yeah.
like pictures come out and they kind of clarify what this release actually is. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait until we get that information. But I'm with you on that, dude. I'm really excited for that. Um, it's more so like so I'll put it like this. Nightmare on Elm Street, I love the whole thing, but like I don't necessarily need the 4K discs. I think it looks great on Blu-ray. It's more
Yeah,
so I'm just happy that this franchise is getting that treatment because it feels like a forgotten franchise in that sense. And so
for
I'm gonna
sure.
get it because I love Robert Englund. I know I love Heather Langenkamp. But it's more so that I want more of a collector's set. Like I have
Yeah.
that shitty Warner Brothers like
Yep, the Blu-ray case.
that
Yep.
Blu-ray case, that lenticular slip, and it's like fine. Like I have the movies and that's all good, but like I have the Friday 13th box set. I have the Halloween box set. I have the Halloween 4K individual slips. There's all this great stuff for the other two franchises. I don't even Here's the thing. I'll say this. I don't even need a 4K set. I don't. I would be good with a Blu-ray set as long as it was like a collectible item.
Yeah, that's what
That
I'm
makes
saying,
sense.
dude. Like those icons of horror, dude, they deserve it. Like, and how is Freddy Krueger gonna be
Yeah.
last to the party when they've given Pinhead one, they've given Chucky love,
Yep.
like Arrow did a box set, they've given Jason love with the Scream Factory, Michael Myers too.
There's
Like
got to be
he's
some kind of rights thing.
Yep, it has to be. But yeah, he's late to the party, dude. But he'll be joining his boys soon. So
Yeah, well. Yeah, great picks. I am also shocked that there's got to be a rights thing going on with Fright Night 2 because that's a big franchise. The
oh
fact that
yeah, dude.
I've never seen Fright Night 2 also.
I
So
haven't either, dude, and that's why I want it so bad, dude. Because I know there's like a Spanish Blu-ray or like two like Spanish Blu-rays, but I've been trying to hold off to get an American
La
one.
Película. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I've never seen it. I've seen some VHSs online. I've been thinking about
yeah,
grabbing. They're super cheap. They're not expensive. So I've
I
been
know.
thinking
Yeah,
about
I've been
grabbing a VHS of that.
same.
But I hear you on all those. I'm with you. You said there was another pick, or that would
Yeah, so I would also love to see Black Roses, which Synapse has done on DVD already. If you haven't seen that movie, dude,
no, I
it's
haven't.
freaking amazing. I love it.
Cool. Black
It's
Roses.
kind of in the same vein as Trick or Treat. It's like a rock and roll movie. And then I would also love to see Deadly Spawn as well because I think Synapse has a DVD release of that too. But I would love to see those
That's
on
with
on Blu-ray.
the spermy things with like the teeth, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Yep.
I've seen
Yep.
that DVD a bunch of times.
Yeah,
I would
that
I
movie's
mean
a lot of fun.
that's the kind of movie I would get in a heartbeat, but I don't really
Yeah.
know much about it. I will say this, dude. We got that Terrorvision release of the Radioactive Reporter. There a couple people I've been looking. There's like a VHS of it with a banging artwork on the front. It's going for like $250 online.
That's crazy,
Like someone
dude.
posted one today on a claim sale, $115. It got claimed super quick, but who knew, man? Who like
Yeah, I've never even heard of that
Me
movie, but
neither.
I watched the trailer and it looks sweet,
It
honestly.
does. I'm really excited for that
Yeah.
release. I will say, when I was going through my top companies, TerrorVision crossed my mind. Not that
Oh,
they had
same.
the problem is they didn't have the best year, but
Yeah, they've had a rough
they
one.
what?
I said they've had a rough year with all their like
Yeah.
evictions and all that shit going on. So
I I'm just saying in terms of like staking their claim, I think TerrorVision. Hopefully, they figure out everything behind the scenes and all that. But for to me, they were like a very little boutique label. And this year with Rumpelstiltskin, with WNEF2, with Radioactive Reporter, with horror, there's a lot that they put out that is like, you know what? It feels like they're destined for big things. That's how it
yeah,
feels to me. And
for sure.
whether it's 2025, 2026, or even 2027, Brad Henderson is a beast, and
Oh yeah,
he gets awesome titles, man. And look, I mean, there's a reason why Vinegar Syndrome was successful in the early days, and that
yep,
was Brad Henderson, really. And
yep.
it was so fascinating to watch his interview with CHH. I know we
I
talked about
know,
that,
dude. I love that.
and
So much interesting stuff.
I love Vinegar Syndrome, and I love what they're doing now. But I was even bigger fan of them back in the day, and so yada yada. But anyway, so yeah, biggest wands of 2025. Um, trying to find my list here. So I love your picks. I agree with them also. I'm really excited for that Nightmare box set. I will totally get it when it gets announced or when
Yep.
it gets revealed, etc. It's not just a question mark. But I do think we'll get it from somewhere in America. So
For sure.
anyway, what I'm looking forward to, or what I would hope in 2025, there's a bunch of them, dude. Like, there's so many of them. I've gone over my love for Troll 2 and how I would just absolutely kill for a Troll 2
Yep.
edition, like a proper release. I have the VHS and I have a Blu-ray, double pack. I think that would be just an awesome
For
edition
sure,
for
dude.
anyone to put out. But really, there's a couple that I'm going to go into. So first of all, dude, I want an Ernest Scared Stupid box set.
Oh,
Like,
dude,
I
yeah.
just that's such a grail piece for me, and
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe it's a Disney rights or a Warner Brothers rights, but haven't there been Disney rights that have been acquired? Like, there has to be like some way to get that movie under contract,
for sure, for sure. I would snatch that up in a heartbeat, dude.
That's
Like,
what I mean. And
I'm
like,
with you
why
on that.
I don't think that it's out of the question. The movie
Definitely not.
hasn't had a release since maybe in 20 years.
Yep.
It had a standard Blu-ray release. I want to say it was early 2000s.
Yeah, I have it and
Same.
I love it, but I want more for sure.
So I just feel like it can happen, and if it can, dude, that would be an absolute grail piece for so many
For
people.
sure, dude. Hell yeah.
I understand that Jim Varney is passed, and those kinds of opportunities for extras is not possible. But tell me that you wouldn't be able to get the Kyoto brothers on an interview.
For
Like,
sure.
dude, they love that shit, dude. They're always at conventions. They're always, talk. I got a shout out video from Charlie Kyoto on my Slappy just from Scary Closet. Like, they are always willing to contribute and do stuff like this. You're telling me they can't do a behind the scenes on the Trolls?
Yeah. I would love that, dude.
And
That's
that would be like a fanboy's dream of that movie.
Yep.
So that's like my biggest thing. Dude, I would just like freak out if that was ever announced. Every October, I'm like, fingers are crossed that like VS or someone is just like, big announcement, Ernest Scared Stupid, box set edition, yada yada. Anyway, so that's my first one. I also would really love, just off the cuff, a Jennifer's Body box set. I would love a
Oh
Psycho
yeah.
Gorman box set. And I would really, really, I would love a Last Dragon box set. You ever see The Last Dragon, Bruce Leroy?
No, or with Bruce Lee.
It's not Bruce Lee. It's a it's kind of like a Bruce Lee ripoff. His name is Bruce
Oh
Leroy.
no.
Dude,
No.
great movie.
I'm gonna add that to my watch list right now. So I remember that because
Dude, The Last Dragon.
that sounds amazing.
And I also, I like my kung fu movies, and Best of the Best is my favorite martial arts movie of all time, and Best of the Best 2 rather. And so I just keep wanting and wishing, because it has to be possible with Vinegar Syndrome doing all these martial arts movies, and Cynthia Rothrock and all these, and Chuck Norris, and like a Best of the Best box set would be another absolute grail piece for me. So I don't know if that's your vibe at all, but
Dude, yeah.
I adore those movies. So I just, that to me seems more plausible than anything else.
Yeah.
So
I grew up watching kung fu movies with my dad too, dude. He showed me Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris, and even like the parodies like Kung Pao. You ever seen Kung
I
Pao,
have seen
dude?
Kung Fu.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't in the trailer? Doesn't he isn't it like a cow or something? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
with like 4 like boobs. Isn't it like a cow with
Yeah.
like something like that?
Got
Or like
4
4
udders.
asses or something. It's something like that. I definitely saw it back in the day.
It's wild, dude. Or like Kung Fu Hustle. That's another good one. Like, as a parody kung fu movie. Like, I love those, dude. They're a lot of fun.
Check out The Last Dragon, dude. It's awesome.
I just added it to my list, so I'm gonna remember that.
Who's the master? Show enough. You got to check it out, dude. It's awesome. Anyway,
sure.
so those are our wants for 2025. We are approaching the 47-minute mark, roughly, something like that. Might edit out a couple minutes, but let's get into this is what you guys came for. Let's get into the top release of the year. I asked Jordan to bring three releases with him this year. So why don't you hit us with your 3 releases first, and then I'll go with mine, and then we'll give our top pick.
Okay.
What do you got?
My number 3, it was very hard for me to pick this. I had a definite answer on my top 2 for me.
So why don't
This
you
was like
wait? So do you want to just say all 3 of your picks first? Then I'll say all 3 of mine. Then you'll tell me which one's your favorite.
yeah, dude. Hell
Okay,
yeah.
let's do it like that.
So I got the Nightmare on Elm Street release with the Steelbook with the original artwork in it. I love
Yep.
that one. That's top 3 for me. I got the Red Shirt Pictures Trick or
hell
Treat set, which was just, it blew me away, dude.
Yep.
Got that one, and then I also have the obvious. I'm sure you have this one. Second Sight Blair Witch box set. I love this thing, dude. It's amazing.
Do I have it? I don't know. You're gonna have to find out. Great choices, excellent stuff. Heading to me, my top 3. I mean, it's the year of found footage, man. It really is. In my opinion, it was the year of found footage. And my top 3 releases are Blair Witch for sure. The festival cut, the high 8 cut. It really was a fanboy's dream of this movie. And you know, I the honest truth about this movie is that it is fantastic. It is exceptional, but it hasn't aged as well as other movies has. And
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful timepiece, and I so enjoyed going back through and enjoying it. But I don't know if modern horror fans that didn't really experience this in the theaters can really get it. Does that make
They
sense?
won't. Yeah, yeah. I totally agree. They wouldn't get it because it's not.
It's
It's
not an
not
in your
like,
face movie, and
it's not super scary. I mean,
it's
I
not.
mean, it is, but it's not it's like it's like a period piece. Like, it was
Yeah,
terrifying back then, but like
and
by today's standards, it's not.
It's not, and it's responsible for so much in this genre, and I've always loved this movie. I saw this in the theaters with my dad, and it's one of the
Yeah,
things that shaped my love of horror. And to get this is a really special thing, and that's why I
for
have it.
sure.
I have it, and there never needs to be another release of this movie ever in history,
Yeah.
and that's
Oh
why
yeah.
I adore this release and the 2.5 hour documentary and the book and Heather's journal, dude. Like the release is just incredible, and so
Yep.
while I don't think the movie has aged as well, I do think the release is fantastic. So I have that. I have the Hell House LLC box set from Umbrella. Like, there's one thing to release a movie like Blair Witch, which has been out for 40 years, and you know, it's an amazing 30 years, whatever. It's an amazing movie that completely changed the genre and set up a new genre. It's one other thing to get an entire franchise. I know there's another one in the works of movies that you've never seen before, because I had never seen any of these, and that to me was such a special thing to get a release of these movies for the first time on I think it's the first time on disc. To be honest, I have to double check that, but to
I think
get
you're
it
right.
in a release like this with the book, with the beautiful packaging, the art cards, 4 movies, dude. 4 movies I've never seen before that really hit for me. I think that's special, and now it's like I have this franchise that I adore. The first movie scared the fucking piss out of me. I've told you that before. The 4th movie scared the piss out of me. Second one was kind of shitty. Third one was okay, much better than the second, but they weren't amazing. But the first and the 4th, dude, chef's kiss. So I think it's really awesome we got this. There's so much I love about this release. And then lastly was Frogman from TerrorVision, because you recommended this to me and you said I'm gonna love it, and I put it on, and I did, man. I absolutely loved it.
That one was probably number 4 for me. Honestly, it was so close. It took me by surprise. I mean, same as you, I'm sure.
It was my biggest surprise of the year by a
Yeah.
long shot. I absolutely loved it. I want to get this poster framed to my room because, yes, it was found. Like I said this in I did a video on all 3 of these releases, but like Frogman, pound for pound, truly, I liked better than Blair Witch. And I'm not saying that it's a better movie. I think Blair Witch is more purposeful. I think Blair Witch is a sign of its time and was way ahead of its time and was
Yeah.
incredibly influential, right? And it did all these things before anyone else did. So it was a powerful film. But Frogman builds on all of those things and turns it into something that I love even more. It turns it
Yep.
into a body horror, metamorphosis, escapism film that just it just hit, dude, and I think you feel the same way.
100%, dude. MILF, baby.
The Croaks are no hoax, man. And if you have not seen I think I got something here somewhere. If you have not seen Frogman, do I have a clip here? Let's see.
I think we're next.
Owl House, is that?
I want the world to know the truth.
Okay.
About Frogman.
All right. Film in the woods. What was that?
I saw Frogman as a kid, and what I saw was a real thing.
I think it's time for you folks to head on home.
But I know what I saw that day. And I'm gonna get irrefutable proof. The Frogman exists. I want the world to know the truth.
Oop, the Frogman exists, and I get chills just watching that trailer, like knowing how bonkers the movie is. And so yeah, I'm glad you recommended that to me. And another reason why TerrorVision kind of put itself on the map, in my opinion, like who the fuck knew what Frogman was? Had you ever heard of this?
No,
No, like
not
like
until they announced they were putting it out.
this shit was sold at Walmart, dude. Like, so I just can't say enough good things about TerrorVision. They're really awesome over there. So there you have. Those are our top 3 releases of the year. So let's narrow it down. I have my pick. Jordan, what is your number 1 physical media release of 2024? Give us what you got.
It's Blair Witch Project, dude. It has to be. This release is stacked. I watched the documentary too after I watched the film, and it's amazing. Like the documentary, it literally picks up, like the camera picks up right at the end of the movie, which is just crazy to me that they were thinking to like film that back then. And then everyone's clapping and stuff, and it was amazing, dude. If you haven't seen the documentary, you absolutely have to check it out. And it like if there was anything you ever wanted to know about this movie, it's answered in the documentary, which is it just adds to this even more. And this movie has always been so nostalgic for me because I remember seeing it in the video store and like people thought it was real. It was crazy. Like I remember wanting to rent it, and like I don't remember who I was with, but like one of my parents or my aunt or something, they're like, no, you don't want to mess with that. Like that's some weird shit. And I'm like, man, I want to see it even more now. But
you know what's so interesting, dude? Amazing pick, and you get no ish from me. If anyone gives you a problem about that pick, like they don't understand how important that release was.
Yeah.
What I think so interesting is that movie was so influential for the time, and like you said, the internet wasn't a thing yet, so no one really knew what was going on. Like people, I remember thinking it was real too.
Yeah,
and my dad too would be like, "Oh, we're going to see this movie. It's supposed to be this real thing." To my mom and my sister, and I think what I loved about Frogman so much was that it's playing on everything that's like it's now going over the top because we're in an era where like things can go over the top, So
Yeah.
I think that they both play their time period really well, dude. I think that's a perfect pick. I think it's an amazing pick. I have no issues with that at all.
Awesome. I figured you wouldn't. I knew you were a big fan of that too, dude. And like I said, it's just so nostalgic for me. Even if it doesn't like hold up to today's horror standards, still thinking back then and like watching it with the mindset of being back then and thinking it's real is just it trips me out, man.
The fact that it is as influential of a movie as it is, and for those of you that did not know this or haven't been keeping tabs on this movie has been, for the first time ever in this edition, was released as the producers wanted it to be released. Okay,
Yep.
You have the High 8 Festival cut, which is as intended as it was intended to be seen by its audience. So, as Jordan mentioned, like this is an important release because that is the first time this cut is on disc for people to see. And
Yep.
that is a very special thing. So if you're a fan of this movie, It's kind of like it's beyond a grail piece, right? It's like a lot. It's like almost like what's like not the Bermuda Triangle? What's like the Lost City called? What's that?
The Lost City of Atlantis, dude.
Atlantis. It's like Atlantis. It's like this like lost treasure that like has been uncovered, you know, and it's a
Yep.
really, really, really cool thing for fans of this movie. So there you have it. Jordan's top release of the year, Blair Witch Project from Second Sight Films. Also his top company this year, Second Sight.
Yep.
I was very on the fence. I don't think you can go wrong with any of these releases. I really wanted to pick Frogman just to kind of be outside of the box a little bit because
Yeah.
it was just so much fun. But it's my pick is Hell House, man. It was very close to me between all three of these, but I freaking loved this movie, man. I had so much fun. And the first time I watched the first one, I was at home alone with the lights off. And I couldn't fall asleep, dude. The last time I felt that from a movie was Creep. With Mark Duplass, which I absolutely adore, which I can't wait for. And you know, they're not really my normal cup of tea. But what makes this movie so special to me is that not only is it a found footage film, but it's also a haunted house movie. And
Yeah.
haunted house fucks, dude. Like I am down with that genre. I am down with that kind of a vibe. And these fucking clowns, man. I know you haven't seen this one yet, but like these fucking clowns are back. Like the
That's creepy.
and precision with which this movie moves is like symphonic. It is precise. It's they do a perfection of a job in the timing of things and the jump scares. And yeah, it really captured me. And to have 4 movies in a set like this, like granted, Blair Witch is a more important release, I think. For me, it's
Yeah.
a new movie and having this whole box set to dive into was a really cool thing. So listen, phenomenal year for physical media. There were so many things we could have picked here, but Jordan's going Blair Witch. I went Hell House LLC. Jordan, this has been a blast. What are your final thoughts here, man? Leave the fans with something. What do you got? Something, a thought, a memory, a look to the future, whatever it is that you want to say. Give us what you got.
There's some big things coming for physical media next year. I can feel it. We're gonna get a couple of things we talked about today that we want. We're gonna get some crazy stuff that we don't know anything about. There's another title I forgot that they're releasing an extended cut of a director's cut of Return or A Night of Living Dead 1990 from Tom Savini.
Very excited.
We're gonna get an extended cut of that, which is another thing to look forward to in this next year. So I think that 2025 it's an odd year, but I think it's going to be an even bigger year for physical media than 2024.
It's scary to think about that because my wallet is hurting, dude.
Same,
Scary to
dude.
think about that. But I agree, man. Only amazing things in 2025. Jordan, it's been a blast this year. Only bigger things in 2025. Listen, for all you guys celebrating with your friends, family, and loved ones, have a wonderful New Year's Eve tonight. Watch some movies, eat some good food, toast a glass if that's your vibe. And me and Jordan will catch you guys later. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know your thoughts on this year. Was there something that we missed? Maybe there's another release you guys felt was way more important or way bigger than anything we said. What do we know, right? We're just collectors here. So what do we know?
Yep.
Hit us up in the comments. We love hearing from you guys. And that's a wrap on 2024. We'll catch you guys on the flip. Peace.
Peace.